term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute. We made a change to designate the use of the term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute as hate speech. So if somebody were to use Zionist, of course you can use it in the sense of you're a proud Zionist, but if you're using it in the context of degrading somebody, calling somebody a Zionist as a dirty name, then that gets designated as hate speech to be moderated against. Over the course of 2024, we tripled the amount of accounts that we were banning for hateful activity. We also have, I think, over 24 Jewish organizations that are constantly feeding us intelligence and information when they spot violative trends. There is no finish line. There's no finish line to moderating hate speech, identifying hateful trends, trying to keep the platform safe. There's no such thing as an end game. We made a change to designate the use of the term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute as hate speech. So if somebody were to use Zionist, of course you can use it in the sense of you're a proud Zionist, but if you're
all right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Give honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's old, but it's effective. The power that they have over what is being said and what is being, they just want to control the narrative. Controlling the narrative, the power of information is like gold right now, because what's being spun in the news. So this is 2000. This is last year. Well, a month ago, literally a month ago, and you could see the machine that is working. There's commercials now on YouTube. There's commercials on regular television about protecting a certain group of people by any means. Right? How much more power do a group of individuals need? How much more do they need to show that they have all the power? All right? It's like they live in a bubble. So they could do harm, but if you speak of the harm, then you are being labeled as hateful. And they could say this, how you hear what he said. If a person talk about being a proud Z word, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you say it any other way, that's considered to be hateful. So they could sit there and tell you that they own everything, that everything goes by them. They make the rules, they run the world. But as soon as you say it, then is a problem. So what we're seeing right now, we're seeing a double standard, and now they have the backing with the perfect person in office. So now they're going to come down harder, okay? And we're now getting the information that this ICE agency, this Border Patrol, which is now considered to be an SS army, they are above the law. They're above immunity. In other words, sorry, not above immunity. They're immune to anything. And they were trained by those set individuals. A lot of them are those individuals. That's why when they first started, they went around with masks. So we could clearly see the power dynamic that's being placed. But real quick, Psalm 73 and 4 says, "For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm." And what they're showing is that, matter of fact, NLT, the NIV, they have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. Let me see what it says. Sorry. Did I pass it? Oh, yeah, I did. Let me see what it says in NLT. They seem to live such painless lives. Their bodies are so healthy and strong, which seemingly it does. It does. I mean, it's not mm, close. The first one is better. Verse 5. NLT. They don't have troubles like other people. They're not plagued with problems like everyone else. NLT. I mean KGZ. KJV. They are not in trouble like other people. Neither are they plagued like other people. Why? Because this is their world. This is their blessing. Right? Who brought it up? Oh, somebody else that brought it up. The majority of the rich um genius boy all trust fund babies all look a certain way, all has a certain connection to certain people. So the guy that bought TikTok, guy that owns Facebook and countless other apps, the people that's pushing the narratives, Elon Musk, Neuralink. When you look up the Neuralink in the Greek, it goes 666. They are in the position themselves in a mighty position and having it their way, their future. Everybody has no voice. Everybody would be crushed by their power because the laws that is being pushed is in their favor. So they're not in trouble like other men. They could do everything that they want to do. There's a documentary that's circulating, which I'm not gonna get it, which it goes into a certain group of people. I'll just say it like that. It was a reporter. He does documentaries. He was going around, was it somewhere upstate New York, and asking these individuals, the men of these groups, what do they do for a living? And the majority of them couldn't tell this man what they do for a living. And then when he find out that how many children that they was having from 7 to 14 children per household. So he's like, how can you afford this? And they all said, oh, the woman is the one because they know how to milk the system because the system that they're milking is their system. All right. Everything is going to the liking of them, not the liking of us. But yet we're the face of welfare. This, we're the face of poverty and so forth. But having so much kids and this, that, to the third, they do the same thing, and there's no trouble. They don't get talked about badly like that. It says, therefore, pride compass them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. Now you see the violence that they have, the anger that's been built for all these years, and even a guy that's in a position of power in Nero 47's cabinet, Stephen Miller. He's a small hatter himself, but he's stirring up the pot so that way the people get angry and do something with the results that they're doing. And probably he's saying that everybody should be taken out. Okay, so they wear this thing of theirs as a badge of honor. the lies and the deception and everything. And if you dare speak against them, then they will punish you to the extent of their law. Is their heart, let me say, their eyes are stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. They are corrupt, speak and speak wickedly concerning oppression. So when they oppress somebody, they turn around and make it of themselves. They hijack everybody else's pain. They benefit. Do you know why they allow certain things to be broadcast? Back in the days with slavery movies and this and shows and all this other stuff, because they benefit from it. I always say hip hop. There was only there was various different versions of in hip hop. It was very different styles. But the well, it's not just hip hop. I don't think about it. The money making part of the industry is pain, is suffering. What we consider the blues. Who benefited from that? It was in our people. Yeah, our people in the forefront, but in the back end, they don't receive nothing. So when Jake is out there crying, they sold out because they being ripped off. These people turn around. It's like, oh, they don't mind because they feed off. That's coming out a lot too. They feed off the trauma that we have. They're like vampires. So when it comes down to oppression, they're not gonna say, "Oh no." They want you to be in that state of not, no, just being docile. Sorry, that's what I'm thinking about. Just being docile, just being, um, just taking whatever they're telling you. All right. So they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. So setting their mouth towards the heavens, saying that they're gods, saying that the God of the Bible is them. All right. That's what they put out there, and they lies continue all over. So now, just like in Argentina, when they found one of these criminals out there burning down the forest and people caught them, they said that the news over there, they didn't want to put that out there. Why? Because that group infiltrated. Now they say that they made an agreement um, with certain of these governments, and that agreement was if a land, just like over in America, I forgot what act it's called, but if you lose, like if you in a land and some natural disaster takes place and it can't get fixed, if it's too polluted, becomes the government's property, right? Which leaves the person without any property. So with how they did it, they burned down the forest and the lands become for sale, right? So the same thing, natural disaster, supposedly natural disaster takes place, and the people have to move, and they get the land for cheap. So they've been running, they're running this shit. Argentina, Peru, I think Chile as well. So they're running this. Well, Argentina, Slovakia, Argentina, they paid off the government $40 billion, but I believe there's Chile. I don't want to look it up because I don't know how to dial it up. So they go out there and lie and steal, and you can't speak nothing against what they're doing. The same thing they did in was 19. when the LDA, whenever this was established, I think it was 1913. LDA, 1913. Yep. And the Anti-Defamation League originated 1913. Why? Because of Leo Frank, which I know this history very well. And during this time and progress, their guides, the Rothschilds, was doing some vile, a lot of things that were questionable. So they bought up all the newspapers. So that way, whatever they were doing, it was highly classified, protected. So when Leo Frank got hung, they formed the ADL. So you can't speak anything towards that group of people. What is his name? Greenberg said the same thing about FBI monitoring people and so forth. So it's just like a gag order that you can't speak towards against these people at all. And they put things in play, things in motion by law for anybody not to speak against them, which goes into Wisdom of Solomon 2, I believe it's 8. No, I saw that 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Yeah, but now taking away the very speech that you have. There's two main amendments of the land. If they both got to go at the same time, because once they go, they're gonna do whatever they please. And I'm talking about the government, all right? To right free speech and to bear arms. They're literally working neck and neck. That's why that killing that took place in Minnesota recently. The guy was armed. Yes, he was armed. Yes, he had magazines, but he was a law-abiding a citizen. He was a card. It was a card holder. So whatever the state's requirement to carry a concealed weapon, he had that. It's all over the news. And what they did, what they did to the extreme level. All right. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man, and let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grayed hairs of age. Let our strength be the law of justice, for which is feeble is found to be nothing." And that's the attitude that they all have. All right. So they need to establish this gag order over all people in order to influence, no, in order to rule with an iron fist. So we in some crazy times. The famine of the word is right around the corner. Okay, because if they're doing that to that platform, how much more will they do to the other platforms that's out there, especially the YouTube? All right, I remember YouTube wasn't that popular when there was no goddamn commercials. It's so big now. You gotta watch what you say. You gotta speak in code. And we've been through it all. When we was free to say what we wanted to when we couldn't say nothing and go back. It was going back and forth. But enough is enough. All right. So by their law, they're gonna come down, which is no law. So they just an excuse to come down hard on the people. It says, no, I'm sorry. Verse 10. Therefore, nah, that was it. That was it. Because that goes into something else. but payback's a bitch. So, hey, the famine of the word is right around the corner. You can't speak nothing against these people. But by that time, we don't have to say nothing. The whole world's gonna know. All right. That being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.